Hello, friends. Happy long weekend. And welcome to our pre-recorded inspiration video to support our waffle flower spotlight sale that we are doing this weekend. So the sale is running on Saturday and Sunday, and it is 25% off selected waffle flower products. So a lot of what you're going to see today is on sale this weekend only. So I am going to put a link in this video to the email that we are sending out on Saturday morning that gives you all the details about the sale. So if you are just stumbling across this video this weekend and you don't know anything about it, you can find out that way. If you're stumbling across this video much further down the road, I hope you enjoy the inspiration, but the sale will no longer be happening at that point. But let's get started. I want to cover a fair bit of stuff here, and I'm even going to demo a couple of things at the end. So hopefully this won't be too long, but there's a lot to share. So the inspiration I'm going to show you right now is by Christina. I've had it in a pile for quite a while, and I just haven't gotten around to sharing it, and it is wonderful. So this features a lot of product from the baking release that they did. And this particular card sample, isn't it adorable? Oh my gosh, I just love it. So it's got the balloon animal and a gorgeous stencil in the background. So the stencil is called Picnic Plaid. There is a die that goes along with this. I'm not sure if we still have it in stock or not, but regardless, the stencil is a great standalone one as well. And I really love how you can, do a rainbow blend and have it sort of fade out and not have to cover the whole panel in order to create this look. And then once she created the panel, she used a star die just to add some random stars. And then she put these adorable balloon animals across the middle. So the balloon animals are from this table add-on cake die. And you can see the little guy right there. And you can cut them out of whatever colors you want and use them as an accent. So great for birthdays. So that is where that inspiration came from. And then let's just slide these over here. We'll look at these three cards here. So this card is created with that same die, the table add-on cake die. I know it's really hard to see some of the elements that are in here. See if I can pop it out easily. Sometimes it's tricky. Oh, that wasn't too bad. So you can see that the cake was created by layering up all of these circle dies to create the actual cake. So you've got this background one here, which is this one. Then you have the sort of deckled edge one to create the brown, the regular circle for the pink. And then there is this sort of wreath stencil that does the icing. And look at these adorable strawberries that you can create and embellish with as well. And then there are some streamers and things added here. Oh, yep, there's the little streamers and the little, I don't know, what do you call those? Little blow birthday party favors. That's the word I'm looking for. So that is all created using this table add-on cake die. And of course, you can switch up your colors and all kinds of things to create different colored cakes and fun elements that way. I like this die because it's a little bit more mature and it's different than just adding birthday candles and things like that. So you actually decorate your cake up. The frames that are shown in the background here, let me see if I can find that die in my pile. Here it is. It is the nesting, piercing, fancy labeled die. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 dies in here. They're all different sizes. They can nest together. And that is exactly what Christina has done here. So the larger one is the pink one. And then the one size smaller is the white one. And then she's layered her cake and everything on top. So it creates a really nice focal point for your design. So that's a really awesome one. And then these larger cakes are created with the cake focal die and stencil. So there's a die and a stencil inside here that creates the cake and all of the design work that's on here. And then the blending is all done with the stencil. So it's a really cool effect. And you can see that nesting, piercing, fancy labels die in the background. She's cut it out of vellum. So it kind of floats back there, but it's not really jumping out and taking over the card. And then you'll notice that same stencil that was used on this card is also used on this one, but a completely different look. She's gone edge to edge on this one, and it makes a great backdrop for the whole design. And then this one, she's turned into a shaped card. So clever. So she's mounted the whole thing on a stitched circle. And yeah, so here you can see she's used light colors, and here she's used a bit darker colors, which is really fun. And then this die also includes the little word that says make a wish. That is a die. And there it is right in the middle of the cake. Super fun. Love those. Okay, so next up, oh gosh, just gets cuter. This one is, we're going to focus on this element right here. First of all, that is created using this postage cake slice die and stencil. So you get this really cute oval postage die set. There are two dies. One does the postage edge, and one does a layering piece that you can put on for the center of the oval. And then if you flip it over, there is a stencil on the back that creates the cake that's right in the middle. So that whole thing is created with this stencil and die, and that creates this element right there. But you can see that little oval is layered right on top of the postage piece that's in behind down there in white. And she's paired that up with these adorable oven mitts. And again, you can see that piercing frame in the background. So where did that come from, you might say? Here is another card with the mitts, and that is called Just Mitts Die and Just Mitts Coloring Stencil. So the dies cut out these adorable mittens, so oven mitts, and they do create the detail that is in the paper that you see there. There are some elements that you can put on your mitts, so you can make them seasonal. So there's apples, there's leaves, there's butterflies, there's hearts, and there's flowers. And the trim is a separate die piece, so you can do the trim in a different color. You can use the leaves for decoration around your design as well. So lots of versatility. But then there's also the option, and I love this, to make patterns on your mittens. So here on this one, you can see that she's cut it out in white, and then she's added the stencil detail to make them flowered oven mitts, which is a really cute option. So that is where the stencil comes in, and you can do some fun stuff with that. So those pair together to do that awesome design work on those mittens. And who doesn't need a cute pair of oven mitts? And oh, I just wanted to point this out. This is the Bake Me Happy word die, and it says You Bake Me Smile. So you can see it is a layered die. So you do the You Bake Me Smile, and those are all connected. And then there is a shadow die that you can use as well if you want to do that. So I think that works out really well as a nice accent piece for that. And then we're going to move on to the nesting postage collage set. So this is a series that they have. And with this series, you get a stencil panel that is like a large rectangle, a circle, and a rectangular strip. So in this case, you do the layer cake, the mixer, and the strawberries. So here you can see all of those pieces nested together on the front of this card. So you've got the large rectangular piece there with the mixer. You've got the cake, and you've got the strawberry strip. All of those can be used separately or together. And then she's embellished it with this amazing word die saying sweet friend. And look at these little strawberries. I think those are from a previous one, which is now in my pile. Just let me back up. It's the this one here, the table add-on cake die. So those are those little strawberries that we talked about earlier, and there's the little toppers for them. And she has decorated her sentiment with those tiny little berries. Those are adorable. And then here's another card using all three pieces as well. You can see that mixer piece in the back, the strawberry strip, and the circle piece. And again, just a card with just this, and with just this is adorable as well. You can see that we've got an icing bag and the strawberries. So the icing bag is coming up in another set that I'll share in just a minute. And the strawberries are from that previous set that I showed you. I love the softer tones on this one. It's really cool. And then the sentiment is from Let me find the set. Here it is. There is a sentiment set called Baked with Love Sentiments. So that one is Life's Batter Without You. And that's what that looks like when you cut it out. So I'll just set that one aside, keep it close by, because I think we're going to be referring to that. And then the last pile of inspiration I have from this set is using the postage collage, because Waffle Flower is famous for all their postage collage stencils. So this one does all of the sections, and each one creates a different baking scene. So that is what the postage collage is. And it also features the baking fun die. And in this die set, you have the little mixer, you have the bowl, the spatula, the rolling pin, the icing bag, spoons, a cracked egg, flour, sugar, and all the fun things that go along with baking. So there's lots and lots of icons in there. And let's just start with a postage collage so you can see what that looks like. So that's the panel when you stencil it all out. You can pick your color scheme. You can leave it as a full panel on the postage collage die. There is a little stamp set that has the little icons that you see here, like the little icing bag, it's your day, happy birthday, and the postage lines. Oh, that's from another postage stamp, and so on. So you can decorate up your postage pieces with those coordinating stamps. And then here's a much softer tone. So just changing up your ink colors and going in with a bit of a lighter hand. Here's that cute little mixer from the die set, which is right here. The sugar, the whisk, the rolling pin. And then on this card is also featured the frames. So if you take your full postage collage panel and you cut it apart, you end up with these little sections that you can then use for embellishments. You can use them like they are here, or you can add in a piece like the frames. These are postage collage frames, and they go right around those pieces and kind of make them like little works of art. Isn't that a great idea? I love that. And then here is a piece with all the little sections cut apart and just left as postage stamps. And there's a nice big sentiment, says Baked with Love, and that's from this set here. So you can see it right up at the top. And this set has dies that cuts out all of the sentiments. And you can see how fun that set is just by cutting apart those pieces. And these make great embellishments on layouts too. We've done that in some of our Moments and Memories and Calendar series layouts. And in the background, you can see that really cool picnic plaid stencil that is just lightly stenciled in the background for added detail. So isn't that a great lineup of products, all using the baking products from Waffle Flower? So all of these will be on sale for 25% off Saturday and Sunday only. You'll just go visit our website. There's a special section set up. The prices are already slashed. You don't need a special code or anything like that. So go and check that out. Stock up on your favorites. And then I'm going to move on to another set of inspiration from Amanda. And she is working with the Mom and the Dad release. So I'm going to place some of this up at the top here and we'll go through it piece by piece. So let's start with Mom. So we'll start off with the postage collage stencil. And I'll just flip it over here so you can see. So this is the images that it creates when you stencil out that postage collage layering stencils. So you've got a coffee, you've got a mom and child holding hands. You have a book. You've got a bag full of fun things, and then you've got flowers and a sneaker. So all of those are the images that you get stenciled out with the postage collage set. Then they have the print mom word die. So you've got the nice big bold print word mom, and then there is a shadow. I love these silhouette stamps. They're amazing. So there's all kinds of silhouettes of mom with her kids doing different things, which is really cool. And here are some samples showing what all of these things look like when you color them up. So here's the postage collage panel. And you can see there's the coffee cup. There's the holding hands. There's, oh, this might be a card. I'm sorry. I said it was a book, but it's a card. There's the bag, the flowers, and the sneaker. Don't they look amazing when you stencil them all out and bring them to life? And you'll notice there are stamps on here. So there is, oh, here it is, a stamp and die set. And it does work for mom and dad. So that's where all these fun little elements were added. So this says for mom. So there's the for mom. There's a flower, which is right here. The best mom, which is here. And then Amanda's used a postage stamp set from another collection, which are also on sale this weekend. So that's where she gets the little denominations and the hugs inside and that sort of thing. But I just think that looks great. And there you can see that mom word with the shadow of vellum in behind. And then here is one where everything is cut apart. So she's used one of those silhouette stamps on one of the postage sections. So it would be this long one right here. And then she's just cut that out. And then we're going to talk about these pieces here in just a few minutes. I'm going to do a little demo with them. So these pieces here are part of the postage collage die. So you can see this is the original postage collage die. And those are the inside pieces that you see in here. My set's missing the rectangle, but there is a rectangle as well. And that is what she has used to create these pieces. But you'll notice there is ink blending on the inside of that. And there is a stencil that you can use for that. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. Here is the set with the silhouette stamps. Isn't that really cool? I think it's really impactful. And I think this would be a really cool way to do like a mom layout in your scrapbook too, to do those silhouettes. And then you'll notice the background on here is a special stencil as well, which I'm also going to demonstrate as we get further into the video. And here is a section of the postage collage. So she's just cut off one part of it and left 4 of the pieces together, which fit perfectly on a portrait orientation of a card. And then she's got the mom word at the bottom. And there's the little speech bubble. That's also from this stamp set down here. The little heart is also part of that. And you get dies to cut out all of those shapes as well, which is really cool. So love that. And here she's also created a border with the postage stamp pieces. So these 2 are one piece. And then she's just added the coffee cup on the top. There's the love you word, which we haven't shown yet. That's right here. So I love that. And it has the shadow as well. And it says Happy Mother's Day, which is from this set. So love all those cards. That's a really awesome set to celebrate mom. And I know Mother's Day is already passed, but it comes around every year. And there are we want to celebrate our moms all year round. So a lot of this stuff can be used for birthday cards too, which is really great. Okay, just a little drink there. And then we'll move on to dad. So same idea. We have a postage collage stencil. So on the back, you can see we've got a stack of books. We've got the dad mug. We've got the sports, the barbecue, the recliner, and the tools. So that's the images that you get with the postage collage. Then they have the dad word, which is such a great thing. And then you have the dad silhouettes. So there's dad with his kids. And then we've got some great samples. So here is the postage collage all stenciled out. So you've got your barbecue, your recliner, your tools, sports. I love the books. And the books don't have to be just for dad. You can use those for all kinds of things. A lot of this can. And then there are stamps here that you can add. The heart dad. I love the little pennant, the ribbon that says #1 dad. There's even a little pair of glasses, and you can see those stamped right here on the card. So lots of little fun accents you can put on there. And then this one is a card with the same elements, but just cut apart rather than being left as a full panel. And here they are kind of in a border fashion. There's that love you. And then here is the silhouette. And again, you can see that striped background there. I'm going to demonstrate that in just a minute. So isn't that cool? I love those samples and all the fun things that you can do and create with those products. And the versatility that you get with them. There's also a stamp set that says Mom and Dad Sentiments. And these are just basic sentiments that you can use for mom and dad themed cards or accents on layouts. And then this one is called picture perfect. And it is really good if you're using those frame add-ons, because things like Our Friendship is truly a masterpiece. You're made to stand out. You're simply classic. You're a real work of art. You are truly one of a kind. Hope today is frame worthy, and hope your day is picture perfect. Whoa, I knew a sneeze was coming. Sorry about that. You can't control those. So they work really nice for anything in a frame. I think they're really fun. So that is that. Now, let's do a little bit of a demo here. So the cards that have this wavy stripe option in them, I'm going to grab the mom one here too. That is a new stencil. Now, this stencil is not part of our sale, but it's something that you might want to pick up if you have the postage collage system. So I'm just going to grab a sticky mat here. And I'm going to demonstrate how it works. It's actually very, very simple. And it does work really nice for these silhouette stamps. But you can use it for other things as well. I'm just going to see which direction my stencil goes when I put it down here. So there are 3 stencils in the collection, and they are all labeled stencil 1, stencil 2, and stencil 3. So I think it goes this way. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to stick my sticky mat on here, or my panel on my sticky mat. And that's just going to hold that in place. And then I'm going to take stencil 1. Now up here, it tells me to use a light and a medium color. Okay. And then the next stencil, stencil number 2, says to use a medium dark color. And stencil number 3 says to use a dark color. So it kind of does some of the guesswork for you. But I'm just going to line this up, and I might have to move it down so I can see. And then I'll move it back up. There are etch lines on the stencil that help you line up with the panel. And you want to take your time and do this right so that everything lines up well for you. You don't want to rush that part. Okay, so there we go. Now, of course, my nose is going to run. Okay, just give me 1 second, and then I will show you. Oh. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our first layer of these lines. Now, what I did was I pulled out one of the new palette playbook panels that we just talked about in a live today. And this is a great tool to help you pick out colors for your stenciling or you're creating if you have a hard time kind of thinking, okay, what color goes with what and how should I use it? So I really liked this color combination. I'm only going to use 3 colors. I'm going to use the Cookie Monster, the Oat Milk, and the Latte. And we're going to use those 3 colors to create our panel. Okay. So I'm going to start with my lightest color because this one says light to medium. And I'm going to grab I'm going to actually grab one of the Waffle Flower blending brushes to do this. I'm just going to ink that up. And we're going to go in and blend. So this is a very light color. It's not meant to go on dark. So it might look like, you know, we're not really doing much, but that's the, oh, I'm supposed to use, oh yeah, I'm doing oat milk. Sorry, I got confused. So you can see that sort of going on there. Nice and light. And make sure you swirl your brush in both directions so that the bristles glide across the edges of the stencil in different ways, and that way it fills in all the spaces. So some of these colors are meant to go on very light, so you have to work a little harder to get them to blend in. It's not that the pad is dry or anything like that. They're just They're just lighter tones. So that is our first layer. So that's oat milk. So now we're going to take off this layer. Oh, now I've got the sniffles. I'm just going to pause the video and I will be right back. See, that's what you get when you try to do a video when you have a cold. Okay, now we're going in with number 2. And again, we're just going to line up the design, and you can kind of see how these colors are going to go together just by what is already blended down on the paper. Okay, I think I got that lined up pretty good. Perfect. So we're going to lay that down. And now we're going to go in with our second color. So for me, I'm now going to go with my sort of medium color. These two are similar in darkness. I'm going to go in with a lighter hand. I think I'm going to go in with the Cookie Monster next. Okay. And then we'll go in with Latte at the end. So we'll go in with Cookie Monster next. And again, I'm going to be careful not to lay down too much ink. I want this to be my medium color, not my darkest color. And I can tell already that I like this combination. And it's not one that I've used before. And I probably wouldn't have done it on my own. But with the help of the palette playbook, it kind of gives me a starting point and kind of shows me what those colors are going to look like together. And they really appealed to me. So and I like that this kind of creates a different background. You don't have to use silhouette stamps. You can use anything to fill in the squares once you're finished. It just creates a nice backdrop for whatever it is you're going to put in there. It does work really nice with the silhouettes though. And they have a lot of silhouette stamps. They don't just have them just for mom and dad. They have florals. They have all kinds of different things. So definitely check those out because they're all 25% off this weekend only. Okay, so that's layer number 2. We're going to take that off. Ooh, look how cool that is looking. Oh, love it. And then layer number 3, now we're going to put this on. And again, we're just lining up with what we've already stenciled and the actual stencil etch lines themselves. Okay, that looks pretty good. So very easy to do. And then we're going to come in with Latte, which is kind of like a light brown, but it's going to be darker than oat milk. Okay, and then we're just going to, again, do a little test, see how dark that's actually going to be. And you can get some nice shading if you want to use smaller brushes and play around with that in the sections. You can get some really nice shading. I can tell looking through the stencil how awesome this is going to be already. So it kind of masks off the edges of your postage collage, protects all those areas. And then we're just working within those areas and creating this design. Okay, so we're done that. And now we'll remove the final stencil and you can see how amazing. I'm just going to pull this up here so you can kind of see the 3 colors that we chose from the palette playbook Tropical Punch and how it turned out on our blend. So I love that. I'm just going to pop this off and I'll hold the panel up closer so you can see how everything stays within the stitched lines and how cool that looks. And then you can go ahead and use each one of those pieces to put different scenes inside. So I just think that's really fun. So that is called Postage Collage Wavy Lines Stencil. And it's meant to go inside the areas within the postage pieces. Isn't that great? Love that. Okay, so then moving on, the next thing I'm going to show you is the inside pieces. These pieces here, how you can use those and mask off as well. So here I cut out the oval piece, and now we have a, it's called the inner blocks stencil. So this one again is not on sale. It's kind of one of the staple basics in the collection. And we're going to take the oval and we're going to line it up within the design window here. You just want to take your time and get that lined up. I'm going to pull it down a bit so I can see. Sometimes just getting the angle right is half the battle. We'll see how good I'm doing. It's getting late, so it might be off a little bit. I think it's going to be. Let me just try one more time. Okay, I think that's better. Perfect. So again, all that's doing is masking off the outside edge, outside the stitching, and allowing you to now ink blend on the inside. So I'm just going to take the latte and I'm just going to blend over this. And what it's doing is it's filling in the middle with color, but protecting the outside edge, like so. And then you end up with your oval with the center filled in, and then you can stamp or put an image or whatever there. I'm just going to grab one of the samples that I saw that Amanda did right here. So see how she's filled in the color here with yellow, and then she put a stamp on it. So that's how she's embellished those areas on that card using that stencil. So that's a good one to have as well, just so you can mask off the outer edges and be able to fill in the middles. So in the original release for Postage Collage, there is a blocks stencil as well. Just trying to see if I have mine handy. I have a bin that I keep all of my Postage Collage products with so that I can keep everything together. Doesn't mean I can find anything. Let me see if I can find it really fast. Maybe it's in here. Oh, it is. So, no, it isn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Yep, it is. So here is the block stencil for the A2 Postage Collage. So what this is you can take a panel like this. Now I did some ink blending, but this panel, and when you place this over top, it protects all of the areas outside of the stencil. You can do your ink blending in here and then remove this off, and then all your pieces will be filled in like this. So they've just expanded this concept and given you the option to create a pattern in there. Look at that. I kind of almost picked that color combination on my own a while back. And then they've also given you the option to do it on the small pieces that you have as well. So there's all of the masking options for the Postage Collage. Isn't that fun? So just again to review, this weekend only, Saturday and Sunday, 25% off selected waffle flour. I will put the link in this video, in the video description below, so that you can go straight to the email that we sent out with all of the details about the sale. And most of the products I showed tonight are on sale, with the exception of these masking stencils that I just demoed at the end. Okay, I hope you enjoy the sale. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and we will see you again soon.